So I grew up in a small town, so far east. It's next stop is Europe. It's Montauk Point, Long Island, and it's the last town before you hit Europe, so it's on the ocean. And all through college, I worked at a really interesting restaurant, and it was a huge seafood restaurant with 3 huge dining rooms. One was on the water, one was inside, and one was the upper deck, the lower deck, and the inside restaurant. And then there was this little place in the back where we put the overflow people, which is called the poop deck. And I don't know why, but it did overlook the cesspool, and it did overlook the parking lot. And I don't know why, but we had so many people, and back when I worked there, I guess it was like the 70s, okay, and I'm a little nervous here. Usually I can talk, but it's been a long day, I had no dinner. But anyway, so it was a fascinating place because all the people from the city, all over the country, they came out because Montauk and Maine probably have the best lobster. And anyway, they love seafood. It was amazing, fresh seafood. So anyway, I had the best life because what I would do as a waitress when I was like 18 or 20, we would sleep all day on the beach. We would go into work about 4 o'clock, set up our table, start working at 5, work till like 9 or 10, and party all night. And that was my life all through college. And 7 nights a week, I'm not kidding you, it was a big party town, a big tourist town. So one night, I go into work, and it's like 5 o'clock, and I didn't feel good. I was like hungover, tired, wiped out. And I said to my boss, Roberta, put me in the worst station in the house, because as waitresses and waiters, there was like 50 of us. It seats 800 people. So the best stations were on the water, on the front, on the lower deck. So you work on the lower deck, you run your tail off, and it's five what do you call those, turnovers every night. So I said to her, please, I just don't want to work on the lower deck. I can't handle it tonight, because that's where you make all the money, and that's where we all wanted to work. So she gives me the worst station, which is the poop deck. So I'm like, great, I just want to read a book, sit there, not work, because nobody wants to sit there. So it's like 9 o'clock already, and I'm sitting there going, oh my God, I just want to go home, you know? So I'm hoping nobody shows up. I'm looking at my watch. So all of a sudden, I'm sitting there, and Roberta, my boss, she brings over this couple. And I'm like laughing, going, what couple would want to sit on the poop deck? They're crazy people. Get them out of here. So she sits them down. I walk over to the table, take their order. I'm in a really like tired mood. And who's there looking up at me? Long hair, wire-rimmed glasses, John Lennon and his wife Yoko Ono. And I'm all by myself on the poop deck. I'm the only waitress. And I have them for 2 hours all by myself. And we had many famous people coming out all summer, but they all sat on the lower deck with the ocean. And I always wanted to be there, but you don't have any time because you're running you don't even have time to chat with them. So this time I'm like, holy crow, I hit gold, you know. Here I have John Lennon to myself. And I was a complete Beatles fan because I grew up with them. When I was 13, they were on the Ed Sullivan Show, and I was watching them, and loved them. And so I was like now, I couldn't talk, I was so nervous that night. I could hardly talk. And I go over to their table, I'm like, what do you say? You know, hi John, hi Yoko. The lobster's great, but they're like vegetarians, you know, so I'm like, why are they even here? But I almost couldn't talk, and I usually can talk, but I couldn't talk, I was shaking. I was like, you know, and so I took their order. I don't remember, it was so long ago what they had, really. So I take it into the kitchen, and I'm trying to be quiet so nobody knows who's at my table. I come back, and then I start talking. I said, you know, I might as well talk to them. So I go, John, love your music. And I go, big fan. And I said, what are you guys doing out here this summer in Montauk? So they go, we rented a house on the beach, and John's very mellow, and he goes, we just wanted to do our artwork, and we have our little son Sean with us, and we just wanted to relax, get away from the city. And I said, out of curiosity, this is a really good restaurant and everything, and it has a great view. Why are you sitting back here? And they go, we just wanted to be private. We don't want anybody around. So I said, okay. So I left them alone pretty much. But you know what was the funniest part? They kept saying to me, they wanted to learn about me. And I'm like, are you nice? They go, we just want to know, what's it like to be local? And a lot of the city people said that to us all the time. What's it like to live here? So I always used to goof with them because it was a small town, but it's like 1,000 people, but in the summer we get 50,000 people, 100 motels, all these restaurants. So he goes, what do you do in the winter? That's what they always ask me. So I would make up, I'd go, oh, we do spelling bees, we do quilting bees. And, you know, make up stuff, because we just laughed because they'd always ask us crazy questions. So he was interested in it. So I told him, I said, my father's a fisherman. He goes in and out of the harbor. This restaurant, I forgot to tell you, is right on the harbor where the boats come in, and all the fishing boats go right by. And I said, my father comes in on the boat, we wave to each other, and he comes in the harbor, and blah, 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 blah. So we're chatting all night, and I had such an amazing experience, and it was unique to me. And I still remember it, and long story short, let me just think the end out. So I never got, being a college student and tongue-tied at the time, I never thought to get his autograph. I never thought to save the tip. I never thought to get a picture, although I probably couldn't have. But what happened was, sooner or later, all the waiters and waitresses found out he was out there, and they, one by one, they'd come out and go, oh, would you like a creamer? Oh, here's a napkin. Oh, here's some still, you know, they brought out stuff to his table. And I hated it because pretty soon everybody was out there. By the end of the night, it was everybody and me. But anyway, so I never did all that. But I just want to say, I said to Roberta, next time, please seat me on the poop deck.